The dark truth about Airbnb. In the ever-changing landscape of the travel industry, Airbnb has emerged as a game changer, revolutionizing the way people find and experience accommodations. By seamlessly connecting travelers with a vast array of distinctive lodging options across the globe, Airbnb has genuinely transformed the way we think about travel. Yet hidden beneath the polished exterior, a web of unsettling realities emerges that questions the idyllic portrayal of Airbnb as an entirely beneficial presence in the realm of travel. Airbnb's impact reaches well beyond the convenience it provides to travelers and hosts, causing housing shortages and putting a strain on local infrastructure. Let's move on a captivating journey as we uncover the intricate web of complexities and controversies that surround Airbnb, revealing the hidden truths beyond the platform's meteoric ascent to fame. Airbnb has faced considerable criticism for its impact on gentrification and housing shortages in popular tourist destinations. Some critics claim that Airbnb's impact on rental prices is concerning. They argue that the conversion of residential properties into short-term rentals may limit the availability of affordable housing options for residents. Accusations have been made in cities like New York and Barcelona regarding Airbnb's alleged contribution to the displacement of long-term residents. Airbnb has encountered a multitude of legal and regulatory obstacles worldwide. Short-term rentals have posed a challenge for numerous cities, resulting in clashes with local authorities, hotel industries, and residents. Some critics claim that Airbnb has managed to evade or bypass regulations, which they believe has led to the operation of unlicensed and potentially unsafe accommodations by hosts. There has been growing concern about how the rise of Airbnb is affecting the unique character and cultural fabric of local communities. In areas where Airbnb rentals are shared, one may encounter certain inconveniences such as heightened levels of noise, traffic, and a constantly changing population. Some contend that the presence of temporary renters can gradually erode the close-knit nature of communities and disrupt the social dynamics within neighborhoods. Despite the safety measures put in place by Airbnb, there have been unfortunate incidents of property damage, theft, and even violent crimes reported in some of the listings. Over time, there have been unfortunate occurrences where hosts have crossed boundaries by surreptitiously installing concealed cameras or displaying discriminatory conduct towards their guests. Some critics have raised concerns about Airbnb's potential impact on tax evasion and economic disparities. Some hosts choose not to report their rental income for tax purposes, resulting in a loss of revenue for local governments. In terms of financial benefits, it's clear that Airbnb does not provide an equal playing field. While specific hosts are able to reap substantial benefits, others find themselves grappling to make ends meet. There have been some negative feedback regarding Airbnb's approach to resolving conflicts between host and guest. Several users have encountered challenges when trying to address various issues, including canceled bookings, misrepresented accommodations, or unresponsive hosts. Some critics have raised concerns about Airbnb's policies and customer service procedures, suggesting that they may prioritize hosts over guests. This alleged bias has resulted in frustration and dissatisfaction among some users. Concerns have been raised regarding the environmental impact of the increasing popularity of short-term rentals such as Airbnb. When tourism levels rise, the local infrastructure and resources can be put under pressure. Additionally, the carbon emissions resulting from travel can increase, and there may be a surge in waste generated from disposable amenities and accommodations. There is evidence to suggest that in cities with high demand for short-term rentals, such as tourist hotspots or business hubs, Airbnb listings contribute to the depletion of long-term housing stock. Some landlords might discover that converting residential properties into Airbnb rentals is a more profitable option than renting them out to long-term tenants. This phenomenon further limits community members' access to reasonably priced housing, worsening the housing crises in areas already facing severe shortages. Airbnb's impact extends beyond the financial gains for individual hosts. It can also bring about adverse effects for local businesses, especially those in the hospitality industry. Traditional hotels and bed and breakfast establishments often find it challenging to keep up with the more affordable prices and increased flexibility that Airbnb listings provide. Job losses and economic downturns can occur in sectors that heavily depend on tourism. The surge in tourists opting for Airbnb accommodations can put a significant strain on the local infrastructure and public services. When it comes to popular tourist destinations, one can expect a few downsides. Public transportation tends to get overcrowded, traffic congestion becomes a headache, and the constant flow of visitors takes a toll on the roads, sidewalks, and utilities. Local governments frequently find themselves responsible for the upkeep and improvement of infrastructure to handle the influx of visitors, and this can put a strain on their budgets and resources. When it comes to personal data, Airbnb is quite thorough. They gather a wealth of information from hosts and guests alike, ranging from names and contact details to payment information and even browsing history. There have been some concerns raised regarding the storage, sharing, and protection of this data. Users may face severe consequences if their personal information is compromised, such as identity theft, fraud, or other privacy violations. Not only has Airbnb been blamed for increasing rental prices in sought-after tourist destinations, but it's also been accused of exacerbating the overall issue of rental affordability in urban areas. The rise in short-term rentals has the potential to disrupt housing markets, creating challenges for residents, particularly those in lower incomes, in their search for affordable housing long-term. Unfortunately, displacement and homelessness can become a reality for vulnerable populations. Airbnb's impact on urban development and city priorities cannot be understated. Local governments often place a strong emphasis on tourism-related projects and infrastructure improvements, which can sometimes come at the cost of investments in affordable housing, public transportation, and other essential services for residents. This can worsen disparities and further separate tourist areas from residential communities. Instances of misconduct or negative experiences involving Airbnb rentals can have a detrimental impact on trust within local communities. As Airbnb guests and hosts mingle with residents, tensions and social divides may arise, causing some to become wary. In addition, conflicts between neighbors regarding noise, parking, or other matters associated with short-term rentals have the potential to strain community relationships and diminish the feeling of unity and belonging. In tourist-centric locations, the rise of Airbnb rentals can undermine the preservation of local culture and authenticity. As more and more visitors flock to neighborhoods, there's a concern that the local businesses catering to tourists might gradually replace the traditional shops and services that genuinely embody the area's distinct cultural identity. The rampant commercialization that occurs in these situations often results in a loss of the unique character and allure that initially drew people to the area. Airbnb's rise in popularity can be attributed to the issue of over-tourism, where destinations face the challenge of handling an overwhelming number of visitors. This influx of tourists often results in overcrowding, environmental damage, and a loss of cultural authenticity. In popular tourist cities, the abundance of Airbnb listings in specific neighborhoods can worsen the problem of over-tourism, and this leads to more visitors being directed to already crowded areas, which puts extra pressure on local resources and increases the discontent among residents. Despite ongoing efforts to promote inclusivity and accessibility, Airbnb has been the subject of criticism regarding the limited accessibility found in numerous listings. Some accommodations may not have the necessary facilities to cater to guests with disabilities, which can create obstacles when it comes to traveling and limit access to specific destinations. In addition, there have been instances where hosts on the platform have been reported for discriminatory behavior towards guests based on their race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or other personal characteristics, and these reports shed light on the more significant societal issues that continue to exist within the platform. As stakeholders navigate through these intricate matters, it is crucial to work together to ensure that platforms such as Airbnb can coexist sustainably with local communities. This collaboration will help foster a travel experience that is fair and harmonious for everyone involved.